Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Lowe's. Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse. The uncompromising Cadillac SUVs. And by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Lively crowd here in Columbus, Ohio, and our first half stats courtesy of Buffalo Wild Wings. The 11 turnovers, a significant story as Washington forces those 11 turnovers and a 12-point Washington lead over Utah State. Brian Anderson with Chris Webber. A lot of ways you could go with this one, but Utah State probably needed to get their two big pieces going here, but Washington had the clamps on him.
Dickerson. He's been doing everything, even defensively, sliding and moving his feet out there on the perimeter laterally. But his teammates have been looking for him. That's the difference between he and Kayla tonight. His teammates are trying to force feed him, take advantage of the advantage he has inside. And I tell you what, he's finishing strong. How about those 3 offensive rebounds, having 9 total?
Noah Dickerson, the big man in the middle. A lot of headlines go to Jalen Noel and Matisse Thybulle, but Dickerson's having a half. Just about ready to start this second half. Let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I just got done talking with Coach Smith. He said, wow, that front line of that Washington zone is really athletic and tough to get by. I said, how do you do a better job in the second half? He said, we have to use shot fakes, and I have to do a better job as a coach to put my team in a position with different alignments to attack the gaps in that zone. He said, defensively, we're allowing them to shoot 50%, and we're one of the best 2-point field goal defenses in the country. We have to get back to being us.
Craig Smith, first-year coach at Utah State. Good report there, Allie. And it is Taylor who springs free. Nice dish from Brock Miller, who got the bloody nose to stop. And Utah State with the first points of the second half. Chris, in the final 5 minutes of the first half, Washington outscored Utah State 13-3, held them to just 1 of 5 from the field. They only got 5 attempts in the last 5 minutes.
And Allie LaForce just talked about the Aggies getting back to being themselves. Well, they got a score on the other end from patient offense, cuts, taking their time. And how about on the defensive end that time, doing it by committee, every guy getting inside, making sure they secured the rebound.
Mountain West top scorer Sam Merrill gets shut out in the first half. Merrill, number 5 in white. There's another good look, and Taylor will take the contact. And the foul on Noah Dickerson when Taylor gets loose twice in the second half.
And here's the previous bucket. Look at the pass outside of it. And Kata, he has to be happy with this. It's not about how many you score as long as your team wins. And right now, that hockey assist, really good. And you know what, B.A.? I see that Allie made sure that she didn't stay up there with those crazy fans that were on that bus for 32 hours, because you have to stand up, and those guys up there are still going at it. And this is why you have to love college hoops. I don't know what the owl means. I don't know why he has on ski goggles and a helmet. I don't know what's going on up there, but I like it.
Give him a pass on everything they got going right now up there. Probably the first ever direct bus ride from Logan, Utah to Columbus, Ohio. And they deserve it. And they've seen great basketball this year. This Utah State team, they kind of snuck up on the entire conference and the entire country. Almost a turnover, run down by Noel. Nine-point Washington lead. Here's Dickerson. That was Miller. And a hand across the wrist. Miller disagrees. Looked like a good call. You could see the slap across the forearm.
And how about this footwork? Almost going over the line and says no. And Dickerson on that same play with footwork. And he looked into the corner and he told his teammate, he said, I'll get it to you next time. Let's see off the pick and roll if he does it.
Dickerson misses the mid-range. There's Kata with the rebound. Utah State getting a couple of buckets in the second half. Miller passes up a 3 on the drive. Little floater is short. Kata runs it down. Kata wisely will get it back to his point guard. Porter, crossover. Porter, no. Kata got the board. Kata got the finish. Timeout. Mike Hopkins and the Huskies. And Hopkins is hot. They needed Kata. And Neemias Queta has come alive in the second half. Back in Columbus, that timeout reminds us to remind you the NCAA coaches and Infinity are taking a timeout to fight cancer. Infinity's $1 million donation to the American Cancer Society. An Infinity timeout for the win. Learn more at infinitytimeout.com. Mike Hopkins does not like the way Washington has come out to start this second half. And from a 12-point halftime lead, it is now down to 7. Huskies with the ball. 2 minutes into half number 2. It is 9-8 matchup. We're in the Midwest region here. And the winner will face either UNC or Iona. Dickerson can't hit. Keita's there and right into the hands of Hamir Wright. Three-pointer is up for Noel. It's down.
Every time you give up an offensive rebound, it seems like it finds an open man behind the three-point line. Dickerson must stay patient now. Good job by the Aggies rotating over, double teaming him when he gets the ball inside.
Merrill kicks it. Miller gives it back to Merrill. He has not been able to get going. They rely heavily upon Merrill to score. Little left-handed hook. No. And a whistle. So the foul belongs to Utah State's Quinn Taylor. And a moment to check in with Allie. What do you have, Allie?
Brian, you mentioned that Coach Hopkins was not happy. He was fired up in that last huddle. He said that was horrible. 3 straight possession. He goes, I guess we're just done fighting. He looked each one of them in the eye and said, wake up, get locked in. We came this far. It is time for you to wake up and start competing. And they've responded so far since that timeout.
All right, Allie, thank you, as Noel comes up short.
And Coach knows what he's talking about, because it's so hard for guys to keep their concentration, especially when you're playing against the team that's over your head and you're in over your head. But right now, looks like the Aggies have found that fight again.
Started this game tonight talking about all the hardware these teams have been able to rack up in their conference. Porter gives it to Keita, and a quick jump to score that at the rim.
Keita just needs to stay patient and do what Dickerson did in the first half. Find your spot. You don't have to have your play call. Just take your time and duck in at the right opportunity.
Keita's got 8. Porter with his 3rd assist. Both of these teams with the Coach of the Year, the Player of the Year, and the Defensive Player of the Year. And Dickerson is fouled. Keita's going to be hit for the foul. Free throws coming for Noah Dickerson. Beautiful pass by Abel Porter, huh? Good lead for assist number 3. 2 shots for the 6'8" senior from Atlanta, Noah Dickerson. Well, if you want your sports news without the yelling and the fake debates, you can stream CBS Sports HQ. It's free, 24-hour, 7 network for nonstop tournament highlights and picks. You can download the CBS Sports app today.
Please, no more fake debates. Dickerson, how about this? When you can't knock down a bucket and he's come out and missed those 2, as a player, you want to see that ball go in and get into the free throw line. Is a way to calm everything down in your person, but also a way to kind of get resettled and to get back to being aggressive like Dickerson needs to be.
Abel Porter for 3, and Noel clears the board. Dickerson had just 6 points and 6 rebounds. There's a turnover. Noel got chased down from behind. Sam Merrill with Dybel on him. Miller open for 3. Too strong. Taylor the offensive board. Taylor had it blocked. Dickerson got that one. Kicks it. Miller for 3. And it's Keita flying high. And it's out of bounds off of Washington. That'll be Utah State ball. Keita took a spill. Timeout on the floor. They're playing hard. Trying to advance. 10-point Washington lead. 10-point Washington lead. 15:39 remaining in the second half as we look at enhanced stats developed with Google Cloud. And the forced turnover rate this year for the Huskies at 23-9. 4th highest in Division I basketball. Washington, top 15 team forcing turnovers, about 16 per game by their opponent. Only Duke had more blocks per game than the Huskies in Division I basketball, and a top 10 team in steals this year. You get the idea. They do it with defense. Utah State, empty possession there after they got it back. Another turnover for the Aggies, and that is crisp and he hits a three. Ran straight to the wing and knocks it down.
Chris looks at Noel and says, good pass, let's get back to it. They're going to try to speed up the pace just a little bit to try to see if the Aggies really want this game, to put them in a position to make mistakes, just like that turnover. Another steal by Thibault.
Thibault goes all the way and just bangs it off the glass. And they're going to have a foul on Thibault. David Crisp, a 37% three-point shooter. He is the guy that shoots the most threes per game, 5.5 per game on average. And Mike Hopkins going to be forced to take Thibault out. That was kind of a silly foul. He picks up number 3.
A little bit of a frustration foul there. You know, maybe he shouldn't have taken that layup, pulled it back out, got a better shot. That's the great thing about defenders. You know he's going to come back and give you that effort on both ends.
They have locked down Sam Merrill. Gives it to B. Now Keita on the attack. Oh, it had it blocked. Hamir Wright got a hand on it. Shot clock ticks. Down to 7. Here is Merrill. Tough shot. His struggles continue. Sam Merrill 0 for 5, 0 for 3 from behind the arc. The top scorer in the Mountain West Conference and the player of the year.
See if you get in the post with Dickerson or a pick and roll. Let him draw 2 and just get ready to shoot if you're a cutter or a spacer.
Dickerson fights out of the double team. Noel and Merrill hits the deck. Offensive foul going the other way. Utah State ball.
Second time we've seen it tonight. That's a foul. You get the hand right there, but he cocked it back so far. Keita did that you allow a guard, actually not even jumping that high, to get it. Keita a little frustrated. Yeah, that could have been a foul, but what you want to do as a big fella, you want to dunk that guy in the rim. Whoever's in your way, put them through the rim with the ball. The next time they'll think about trying to block that shot.
There's nothing better going to big man camp with Chris Webber. That's why I love spending 10 hours with you on these days. Merrill for 3, needs one, gets one. If there was a guy who needed to see one go through, it is Sam Merrill, his first made field goal today.
And I think he saw it go through the possession before he even took the shot. He was so upset the last possession, he thought he got fouled on the three-pointer. This time he says, I don't care what's going to happen. I'm going to let this fly. Get one up before the defense comes and knock it down.
He's got plenty of pop. He can get going quickly. Crisp gives it up. Here's Carter on the drive. Keita closes. Right in traffic. Shot clock at 3. Tough shot for Crisp. And it's Keita. No, he lost the handle, but right to his teammate, Merrill. See if Merrill gets it going now. Remember, Thibault on the bench with 3 fouls.
Keita can duck in now.
And here he goes. And he did the same thing, and this time it's a foul. I mean, it was almost a carbon copy of the block that they gave Hamir Wright last time. This time they get him with a foul.
As you see Merrill knock it down. Keita on the last play really frustrated on the foul. And even though he gets fouled here, he's happy, and he just keeps telling his teammates, they can't guard me, they can't guard me. And that may be true, but you have to put yourself in a position to sneak one in and let them facilitate and knock it down.
Keita struggles from the line, just 56% as he misses the first. A reminder, don't miss the wildest ride on television. Animal Kingdom returns with an all-new season this summer on TNT. And you can watch it on the TNT app. Keita, 1 out of 2.
Pressure moves up now. The Aggies, and that's usually what a coach does when he wants his team to get in the game mentally as well. You force the energy, and you do that for your team by putting them in a full court press defense.
And Dominic Green on the floor now for Washington. Thibault continues to sit. He's got the 3 fouls. Carter able to keep his pivot down and into the hands of Keita, and a foul. That's another touch foul on the Huskies.
Dean takes a little elbow in the gut there. He's bending over, but he needs to make sure he pats his boy Keita on the butt and says good job, because just his presence that last play deterred the layup, the easy jump hook. Good job by the Aggies.
I think this thing's not getting intense. Both coaches, the coats are off. Hopkins rolling up the sleeves. Time to go to work. Trying to advance. Opening round of the NCAA tournament. Yeah, bad pass. Too hot for Merrill. It's another turnover. 13th giveaway for Utah State. Dominic Green got it. Big three from Dominic Green coming off the bench.
The Aggies need to take one more dribble, each guy in their possession. They pass the ball up before the cutter gets through with the open shot.
Brito hangs. Queta secures the offensive board. Now he's going to work. The spin. Queta is fouled. He's been aggressive. It's been a different second half for Neemias Queta. Back to the free throw line he'll go.
This is what you like, the rebound, fake middle, and spin baseline. The reason why he can do that is because he can shoot over either shoulder. We've seen him knock down the right hand and the left hand jump hook, so as a defender, you don't know which way to send it.
Third foul on Hamir Wright. The freshman of the year, the defensive player of the year, and he's made his last 2 free throws. The Bleacher Report app connects you to the moments that matter faster. Follow your friends and give your take on highlights, scores, and more. You can download the BR app today. Washington has some foul trouble now with Thibault and Wright. It's forced Mike Hopkins into a personnel decision as Noah Dickerson returns. And Queta hits both free throws. Neemias Queta now with 11 points, 3 of 4 from the line. He's got 7 boards, 4 of those offensive. Full court pressure comes again. Almost a turnover. And on the
Oh my goodness!
I hear you. I was with you. He missed it, but that was about to be the highlight of the day. From the Zaya Carter. And instead, the answer, the 3-ball from Abel Porter.
Why, as a player, you have no time to be a fan like me over here screaming about a dunk. You got to get it on the other side, and look at that. Another turnover.
And a fired-up coach, Craig Smith. Washington had gone about 16 minutes without a turnover. Queta contests.
Goodness.
Carter misses the dunk. And then Abel Porter buries a 3. This one's getting tight in Columbus.
I'm Adam Zucker back in New York with this tournament update. Over on True TV, Liberty going for their first ever tournament win. Georgie Pacheco Ortiz and Liberty scorching it from 3. They're 7-15. Miss State now back on top by 1, but 12 seeds, 2-1 so far. Back to Brian, Chris, and Allie.
All right, Adam, good stuff there. One to keep an eye on. Well, back to the tournament, Liberty and Mississippi State. It's been a while for each. SEC got a win with Tennessee earlier today here in Columbus. Ole Miss lost, though. And on the Utah State possession, I believe that hit Dickerson. So that's going to stay in the possession of the Aggies. And if you're just picking us up here on TNT, Washington led by 12 at the half. Utah State closed it to 7. Then Washington went on an 8-2 run to go back up double digits, back up 13. And then Thibault picked up the foul, his 3rd. And it's been a 9-3 Utah State run without the prime defender. And you can add to it. 11-3 run with Thibault out. Utah State is closing in on Washington.
Love to see a crisp pick and roll, maybe with Dickerson, or get the ball into him inside. It doesn't matter if the play didn't work and you get a good shot. Keep going back to the well.
Wonder how long Mike Hopkins is going to leave Matisse Thybulle on the bench. Noel got Queta up in the air, and he draws the foul, and that's what he does best. One of the premium players in the Pac-12 this year, just stuffed the stat sheet all year, but he had a down game in 33 minutes against Oregon in the Pac-12 tournament title game. He scored just 8 points. Only took 1 3 in that game. Noel with 14 tonight.
That's the great thing about the tournament. Even if he would have had 50 points last game, you have to leave those games in the regular season. None of your conference, none of that matters. You're not playing in your conference, and you're not in the gym that you played last time. The one thing that does travel consistently, defense. That man right there at the scores table, he can tell you that.
So Thibault's set to return. So scored as an 11-5 Utah State run without Thibault, as we hear from Allie LaForce.
Yeah, Brian, despite that run, Coach Hopkins has been so calm and encouraging in his huddle. He sat the guys down, took his jacket off, he's fired up. He said, we are so good. We have 12 minutes of basketball left. You know, now obviously just under 11. But we have to keep playing our game and attacking. Don't panic. I'm so confident in you guys. I know this is plenty of time for us. Stay calm and just do your thing. and it's been encouraging to watch just from my seat.
And right on cue, Thibault gets the steal and runs the floor on the receiving end of the lob from Carter. It was Thibault who got the deflection, flying down the court. And Merrill is tripped on his way in. David Crisp fouls Merrill.
The beautiful alley-oop, and you reward the big fella, you reward the defensive player. What do these young players know about raising the roof? He wasn't even allowed when the roof was being raised. He takes it back old school, the beautiful dunk and the celebration after.
Just had flashes of the Fab Five right there for some reason.
Yeah. Did we raise the roof?
I think a couple times. Maybe you lowered the roof.
Yeah, I remember Joanne doing a cabbage patch. I don't want the roof.
Oh yeah, the cabbage patch.
Oh my God, the
ugliest
dance in the world.
Merrill hits a free throw. Saw Thibault take a peek at his father there after that dunk. We've had Greg wearing the microphone for us. He may be blowing out the mixer board right now. He has been screaming the entire game. He's in it. Justin Bean will enter for Utah State. Abel Porter will sit.
Really like Bean in this lineup because he can play the guard. He can also play the forward, but most importantly in that zone, if you get it to him, he can knock it down or find the open man in the corner.
But it's Merrill who checks Washington's top scorer in Noel. Dickerson, been a handful. He and Keita, double team comes.
He's calling for it back. You have to give it back to him. You can't let the double team deter, or that play has worked right there.
And that's off the leg of Crisp into the hands of Miller. Gives it up. Brito, and it's poked away and a foul. But Crisp thought he had it clean.
Could have gone back into the repost. That's what you want to do. Trying to stop the ball any way he can. Foot, hand, whatever. Merrill's out there playing D.
Turnover turns into transition. The foul puts Brito at the line, the junior from Portugal. Fourth foul on Crisp, by the way. Five-point game. The winner of this one will await the winner of the top seed here in the Midwest, the North Carolina Tar Heels. And we'll have North Carolina and Iona coming up next. Iona, the dominant team in the MAC. North Carolina, one of 3 ACC teams to get the top seed. Right now, Duke and North Dakota State going at it on CBS as Brito hits both free throws, makes it a 4-point game, and back on the floor comes the point guard, Porter, in for Miller. Turned it over. Thibault just threw it out of bounds. Utah State ball.
Great job by Keita. Dickerson has been the outlet. This has been the play for Washington. But because of the pressure, not only on the inbounder, but also on Dickerson coming in, just a miscommunication, a misleading pass right there for the turnover.
Under 10 minutes to go in regulation. We've had some good games today in Columbus. Here is Merrill who hits a three. He's come alive. Was shut out in the first half. And now Sam Merrill extends this run to 7-0 for the Aggies.
What a play. Merrill has been wanting it. And how about those 50 fans that we saw take that ride from Utah? Well, guess what? They got the whole section standing up with him now.
(54-53) Washington, a 1-point lead over Craig Smith and the Utah State Aggies. And a 7-0 run. Now concern on the face of the Husky fans. Washington with their 5th turnover in the last 6 minutes, and almost another one stays in the possession of Washington.
Washington may have to just make it simple. Move all the big guys out. 2 guards screen for each other. Clear everyone out and let your best ball handler bring it up the court. Sometimes it's so much congestion when you have 2 players or 3 players in the backcourt and those 3 defenders. Washington's going to have to figure it out to get past half court.
Amir Wright will sit. Remember, the point guard for Washington, David Crisp, has 4 fouls. Tough to get that one in. They do. Got to hurry here, though. Clock ticks. And Crisp will get it across with plenty to spare.
Dickerson is giving it everything he has out there, fighting inside, falling on the ground, getting up, trying to get back down the court.
Well, what jumps out at you, that lower bar there with all the numbers, as Carter hits a three. Boy, that was a big shot for Naziah Carter, the sophomore. And suddenly Washington back up 4. They needed that. Washington has just one timeout remaining. They've been using these timeouts. Going up top. Oh, and it's taken away by Carter. The leaper. Carter running the break, gives it to Crisp. Hangs and turns it over. Right into the hands of Brito. Merrill to the basket. And had it blocked by Dickerson. Noel pushes, kicks it. Carter, another one. He knew it. Set up beautifully by Noel.
Get back to Aggie basketball through execution. Right now, you're being hurried.
A quick burst by the Huskies and a couple of threes. Naziah Carter gets them on their feet. 7-point Husky lead. Washington by 7 with 8:38 remaining in regulation. Take a look at the AARP second half game summary. See the field goal percentage for each, under 50%. It's been a defensive game, especially from the Washington side of things.
And that's why it's so impressive. Washington, 252nd in the NCAA in scoring. Or let me make it more simple. In the Pac-12, they're 11th. So they have problems scoring the basketball. Not tonight. It's coming from the defensive end. But this is when crunch time comes. Can you continue to score and have patience and use your defense? Or will you rush and hurry up? I like what the Aggies have been doing the last couple plays.
Utah State got it within 1. Carter hits back-to-back threes. Cada, shot clock at 5. Another turnover. That's a steal for Thibault. Up ahead to Crisp. And Crisp, boy, he dropped an elbow. That's an offensive foul. It's an easy call. And the Washington point guard has fouled out.
And you know, and Chris in no way is a selfish player. But he had 3 players coming behind him. As a point guard, this is when you get the crowd to the game. You don't need that. You can throw it right behind you, and the big fella will get a dunk. So not only do you hurt your team by taking them out, look at the guys trailing them. Not only do you hurt your team by getting that foul, you could have gotten an easy dunk. So it's a 4-point swing just on that play alone.
And now the swing with the point guard out. Let's see how the rest of this one will play out. They're checking the monitor just to see if it's a potential flagrant foul. Typically when there's an elbow up around the shoulders, the head, they'll take a look. And the veteran John Higgins, who's officiated 8 Final Fours, took very little time. And just a common foul. He's gone. David Crisp.
Great thing about your point guard leaders, they can coach from the bench and inspire. Right now is not the time to feel sorry, and Chris doesn't look like he's feeling sorry for himself. You have to give your energy, all your reserve to your team. But Thibault just turned to his team and said, play defense, so you know he's going to keep it consistent.
His replacement is Jamal Bay. Here's Cada, a little turnaround, short again. Noel flying high with the rebound.
Dickerson has early post position deep.
Noel will handle the point guard duties. This is the guy Washington wants with the ball in his hands. Double team comes. Carter cuts. Carter hangs and is fouled. And he'll go to the line. Naziah Carter has had a terrific night. 60-53. Washington up 7. Got free throws coming after this timeout.
Captain Marvel is the #1 movie in the world 2 weeks in a row.
All right, C-Web, AT&T takes us above the rim. One of the best plays of the night.
Yeah, Thibault, you have to award your defensive player. Reward him for getting out, getting on the break, and that's what you want to see. Plays like that, yes, they're exciting. Yes, they're highlight plays. Yes, we'll see them all on ESPN tonight. But the one thing that you have to understand is it gets the crowd into the game. It gets the momentum going, and so you need plays like that. And let's just think about it. What about the play Chris fouled out on? You could have had that same type of energy if he would have just dumped it back for the dunk. It'll be something that he learns if they advance to the next game. But right now, Washington trying to do everything they can on both ends of the floor.
And Thibault playing with 3 fouls. Naziah Carter at the line. He's had an outstanding effort here tonight. 8 points, has a couple of assists. And you saw David Crisp fouling out with the 5 fouls. Puts the freshman Bay on the floor. He's easy to spot. He's got the pink shoes on. Inside, Queta spins. Queta can't finish at the rim. Noah Dickerson has bothered him all night long.
He's getting some look. Dickerson, again, using his leverage. Can't use his height or a shot blocking ability. Using his leverage to push Queta out the box. And on the other end, he's getting that ball, waiting for the double team, and making some really good passes out of it.
Now they feed Dickerson. He's got a double-double, 16 and 10. Going to work on Queta, pulling his way in. No Queta there for the block. He got a piece of that shot. Porter on the drive, and he is fouled. And if that's on Thibault, which it is, that is number 4 on number 4, Matisse Thibault. And if they lose him, and there's a lot of game left, that would be a huge swing in Utah State's favor. Free throws coming for Abel Porter. Let's check in with Allie.
Brian, you mentioned there's a lot of time left. That's exactly what Coach Smith was telling his team in that last timeout. He said, be aggressive and attack, but most importantly, make yourself bigger. You can expect to see some full court pressure and some different defensive things coming up as they try to chip away at this deficit. But this is a coach that, at the end of the regular season, gave his team a gas can and said, I want you to sign this if you have enough gas left in the tank to make a tournament run. These are the minutes that he's looking for, that extra little bit of fuel in that tank to make a run right now.
I love it, Ali, because what that gas can basically is, it's a contract. It's a contract between you and your coach saying, I'm going to give my all. It doesn't have to be written out in small, fine print. But if you sign here, I know I have your commitment for the rest of the road.
Hey, let's be up front here. Craig Smith coming with a lot of props to the NCAA tournament. Reminds me of Shaka Smart, who would bring the fuse box and all the stuff he would bring. He's brought the WWE belt.
You think about it, we see it on every level. In the pro level, we've seen guys leave stuff in the ceiling of a opposing locker room and say, we have to come back and get it during the finals. And I love the coaches that go out of their way. You need to inspire. These guys need to believe it's them against the world. And so you need to take all you can, especially mentally, to keep guys prepared.
All right, Washington with the ball here in the lead. They are up 6. Good pass and a finish, and a big finish at that by Noah Dickerson.
Dickerson, big fella, has a vertical. When he goes up with 2 hands, everybody get out the way unless you want to get dunked on.
18 points, 10 rebounds for Noah Dickerson. First Washington player with a double-double in an NCAA tournament game since Quincy Pondexter, 2010. That was the round of 64 against Marquette. Taking up a good name right there.
Coach Hopkins wants his team to take time off of the clock. They just have to make sure, even though they're not playing fast, they play with pace, cutting with integrity, getting good looks.
Carter with a jumper. Little crossover into a jump shot from 15. And Isaiah Carter has 11 on 4 of 8 shooting. 11-2 run for the Huskies after Utah State got it to within a point.
Bay defensively has taken some pressure off Thibault. As you see the turnover, what that allowed, Bay had the pressure, went to Thibault's man. Thibault gave the pressure, and look, a turnover. And how about that? You can show me this a million times. I won't get tired of it. A big fella going strong to the hole.
And meanwhile, Utah State with their 18th turnover. Their big man, Queta, loses the handle. That's a pick. And let's see, that's going to be Utah State ball. What a play by Abel Porter.
You have to watch the defense. You have to make sure you have spacing, correct spacing. Good job.
Oh, what a play. Craig Smith called him a winner. He's the walk-on turned scholarship player. Miller can't get that one to go. Empty possession for Utah State. Suddenly down 10 with 5.5 to go in regulation. Winner will advance. They'll await the winner of North Carolina and Iona. The top seed Tar Heels will be on the floor in our second game of the session. Dickerson, no, Miller with the rebound.
What a great play call that time by Hopkins. He called a flex cut right into a pick and roll so the defense can't establish who they want to guard. You're kind of just playing on the fly that time. Great adjustment.
Taylor runs into Dickerson. Nothing there. On the attack, Merrill. And a foul. That's an offensive foul.
He's everywhere. He stopped the first basket, the first shot attempt. Dickerson stopped by keeping his arms vertical. And then what happens after that? Perfect position for the charge. And the big fella says, I know I dish out a lot of pain. He moves a little bit, but he can take a little bit too, standing in there for the charge.
Turnover number 19 for Utah State. They can't run the floor there. It's a spot throw in. That's going to be a turnover against Washington. So Noel, I guess he just lost the fact that it wasn't a made basket.
And how about the pressure of the Aggies? The Aggies are making this team second guess. Why? This is the same play they've been running. Get it into Dickerson. They've seen turnovers off of it, but how about the Aggies adjusting?
And two players on the floor, Noel and Merrill. Players of the year in their conference both. That'll be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Washington. So you have that unforced error, the mistake running the baseline. And Washington's going to get the ball back. Turnover number 20 for Utah State.
Dickerson, look for him to be the outlet with Merrill double teaming in the corner. That time, Washington doing better with the spacing.
Queta with the pick. Rito gives it up. Here's Miller for three. Got it!
Miller wants to shoot it every time he touches the ball. I love this kid's confidence back in the press for the Aggies.
Miller has 13. And a foul. I think they're going to get Merrill here on the block.
There's some guys that are shooting the ball before they catch it. The hands are already ready. You see their eyes looking at the hoop, looking at you, looking at the hoop, saying, wait, when you give it to me, I'm going to let it fly. He's one of those type guys. Anytime you see him with the ball, it seems like he's going to knock that shot down. Very aggressive on the offensive end.
And Miller and Merrill will let it fly. 5.5, 3 attempts a game for Miller as Noel on the 1-and-1 hits the first.
Miller reminds me of the guys that you see, that you played with in high school and you see playing in college, and then you're a little older and they're playing at the YMCA, and you're a little older, they keep on playing, they never stop. He has that game that will last, last forever.
Couple of free throws. As Washington in the bonus, Noel calmly hits 2, 9-point game. Miller after that big three-pointer. Bean back on the floor. Here's Merrill. Boy, they close on him quickly.
Queta's open inside in the post. They need to look inside. Give him some more looks. He's missed them, but he's had some good shots.
Shot clock down to 8. They just can't find a seam. Now Porter trips and falls. And they do get a timeout, Utah State. So they're going to have one left. Porter was banged up. He hit the ground. You could see him wince. Each team, one timeout left coming down the stretch in Columbus. All right, let's take a look at the double take replay presented by Orange Vanilla Coke. And how about we go to the big man, Noah Dickerson.
How about Noah Dickerson? He's from Atlanta. He knows about Goody Mob. Get up, get out, and get something. Or better yet, Ludacris. Move. Get out the way. I'm dunking on you.
Game reset. One timeout apiece. Possession arrow belongs to Utah State. Now that had it blocked. Merrill had it blocked. And that's going to stay in the possession of Utah State, but only one on the shot clock. Craig Smith will bring on Justin Bean.
Watch for a back pick on Queta, or better yet, if Queta could just sneak inside, act like he's screening someone, you can throw it up and maybe get that tip. You don't want to tip a three-pointer. Yeah, you can make it, but try to get the big fella.
Going up top, Bean, no, and did Queta get it off? It might have reset, it did, and it ends up in the hands of Jamal Bay. Opportunity lost there for Utah State. 3:40 remaining. Washington makes it so tough. They're up 9. It was a 1-point game after a flurry by the Aggies.
Washington going to their flex. A screen down and a pick and roll for the guard on the wing, or they're going to throw it into Dickerson. How about the rookie, the freshman?
Yeah,
he takes it himself.
But Mike Hopkins, prior to this NCAA tournament, was raving about Jamal Bay. Only played in 11 minutes, but he scored 7 points in those 11 minutes at the Pac-12 tournament championship game. He is the future of this program, and he's getting some minutes here. There's a deflection. I think Thibault got another one.
Come on, man. Thibault is... His resume says it, but you don't believe it till you see it in person. He's all over the place, man.
Under 3 to go. Thibault for 3. Yes! Matisse Thibault, known for his D, hits a big 3 for the Huskies. 14-point lead now.
Want to move the ball side to side, but it's so hard when you have Thibault and other guards up top. Look at Dickerson holding his spot right there. Not fouling Keita, not bailing him out, going for the pump fake, but Thibault, don't let the defense fool you. He has a wetter as well.
And his dad, Greg, loving every minute of it. Sam Merrill at the line. And his 9th point of the game. Top scorer in the conference. He's the top free throw shooter as well. He shoots it at 91%. Utah State, they have plenty of firepower typically with 2:26 left, but against this Washington defense, they are having a tough time breaking the front line of that zone.
Again, they have to go to Dickerson as the outlet. Can he break the double team? Good job by him moving the ball up.
And now Washington take the foul as Carter will go to the line. Porter fouls him. Gonna have to play that free throw game right now. It's a 12-point deficit for Utah State. Carter, a 64% free throw shooter. He would certainly be one of the targets for Utah State to foul. 1-1 here for Washington. Utah State has 9 fouls, so we'll be in the double bonus on both sides the rest of the way. Isaiah Carter missed it. Stays at 12.
If you're Washington, no silly fouls. Do not bail the Aggies out. If you're the Aggies, you must be aggressive right now. Force the envelope. If you get some shots, take them.
And Merrill misses the 3. Miller keeps it alive. Comes out of the pack with Thibault all over him. Now Porter, he lost the handle, but a foul. He got him on the hand. And free throws coming for Abel Porter. Number 1 North Carolina, the top seed in this Midwest bracket. They're coming up next. And a matchup with Iona. Out of the MAC, the Gales and the Tar Heels.
Look for the Aggies to try to foul Bay if he receives the ball. They were just looking at each other, pointing him out.
And Noel's not the guy you want to foul. And now Trappa gets it out of there. Carter, and they will foul Isaiah Carter, and back to the line he'll go. This was a 1-point game with 9.5 minutes left. Washington has outscored Utah State since that point, 18-8. And even with Crisp fouling out at the 8-minute mark, their point guard sat, and then 2 big threes by this guy right here, Isaiah Carter, who knocks down the first free throw.
Aggies for a while looked like they were getting back into it and even coming for the win once they got into their full court press. Maybe they wish they would have gotten to that a little bit earlier, because they've kept Dickerson out of the game, because when they press, he's the outlet and he has to stay kind of in the back court to be that safety valve. Miller, you know he's going to be aggressive right now, but Keita inside just can't get it in. Look who comes up with the rebound. Thibault fighting hard inside. How about Merrill? He came on late, getting some good shots. Started off slow, but really showed a lot of fight. And right now it is a free throw contest, but more importantly for Washington, looks like they could be on the winning side. Can they stay patient? No silly fouls. But more importantly, can they execute at the free throw line?
Yeah, Oregon beats Wisconsin, and now Washington trying to carry the Pac-10 after Arizona State lost earlier today to Buffalo, the Pac-12, I should say, as Justin Bean enters for Brito. And Noel to push it to a 15-point lead. Calmly does it. And a runaway at the end of this game for the Washington Huskies. Just as Utah State shot their way right back in it. Here's Porter for three. And it is Noel who secures it. 11-3 run and counting.
No need to foul if you're the Aggies. Try to get some steals. You don't want to put this team on the free throw line and slow the pace down. Take some gambles, see if you can get a quick one.
Under a minute to go.
Dickerson, this is where he's been living all night in the paint. How about Dickerson? 7 for 13. I'm impressed with the 4 for 4 from the free throw line and the 3 offensive rebounds that added on to his 12 total. He's been a man amongst boys inside tonight, using his shoulders, his strength, and his leverage.
18 points, 12 rebounds, his 24th career double-double. His career high for points in a game, 28. Had a 22 rebound game last season, last November. And he's got 19 on the board. 5 for 5 from the free throw line is Dickerson. This Washington Husky program, Pac-12 regular season title, lost in the tournament game against Oregon. They have responded. First NCAA tournament since 2011. An NIT team last year, and they are going to live to see another day. Porter for three, and into the hands of the freshman Bay. And a timeout is called, and the benches will be cleared. Washington State, all smiles. Thibault was terrific, 10 points, had 4 steals in this game and 3 blocks. Washington trying to take down Utah State. Player of the game, Noah Dickerson, with the double-double.
That's a team. They get the lead so you can bring in your boys and they get announced. Elijah Hardy, Jason Crandall, Quinn Bernard, Travis Rice, the guys we did not prepare for because they don't usually get time. But you know what? Their team says, we're in the big dance. We're going to put your shoes on and let you dance with us too and get our bench involved.
And for Utah State, finishes off a thrilling season. Team that was picked 9th in their conference in the preseason polls. They win the Mountain West, a league again with multiple bids. Nevada and San Diego State last year, but they will bow out. And for first-year coach Craig Smith, disappointing finish, but a fantastic season in his first year, the coach of the year in the Mountain West, as Porter gets up the final shot, and that'll take us to the finish line. And a 17-point win for the Washington Huskies. Cooling off one of the hottest teams in the country in Utah State, who had won 10 in a row. The Huskies with their 27th victory. And they will advance, awaiting the winner of North Carolina, the top seed, or Iona, which will be coming up shortly. They forced 21 turnovers here tonight, did Washington. And the 9 seed moving on in their first trip to the tournament in 7 years. Nobody happier than that man who fouled out. Saw his team rally without him. 17-point win. Let's check in with Allie LaForce with Noah Dickerson.
Noah, congratulations on the win as your team embraces the fans' first trip to the NCAA tournament since 2011. How'd you think you did for the first time in 8 years?
Not too bad. You know what I mean? Our team played hard. We came out strong, and we got the W.
Thibault and Chris both had foul trouble throughout the course of this game. Chris fouled out with 8 minutes to play. How did you guys overcome not having two of your best players out there?
So always next guy up. We had a lot. Jamal came in, gave us great minutes. Nas came in, gave us great minutes. So we're a deep team. This can be anybody's night.
I heard when Coach gets excited, he just drops down and does push-ups. Is this a push-up worthy performance?
It might be. It might be.
You faced the winner of North Carolina in Iona. What'd you learn from your conference tournament about the quick turnaround and how to be ready?
We just need a lot of rest, get off our feet, and drink a lot of water, and we'll be ready, though.
Congratulations on the win. Enjoy it. You got it, guys.
What a night for Noah Dickerson. 20 points, 12 rebounds, had 2 steals, and a block for good measure. Tournament games continue right now on CBS, TBS, and True TV. And coming up here on TNT, Iona College, the Gales, the David going after the Goliath. The North Carolina Tar Heels, the top seed. We'll have it for you momentarily. For now, we'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central right after these messages.